What up, everybody? Let me get to the spot. Oh, we're doing a little close up here. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome. This is Plan Your Greatness. I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And see my little shirt right here? This is Pete's Fish and Chips. I don't know if they have any more of these. I don't know if they have these outside of the Phoenix metro area. I'm pretty sure they don't have any outside the state. My son works at the Pete's Place. Good little spot. My daughter works at Cane's, and I'll probably be rocking a Cane's shirt one of these days soon. But we're still on chapter 8. Let's go ahead and do a weigh-in. I am holding steady at 250. I've been really concentrating on my eating. Tomorrow morning, I go in for a cleanse. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try that out. I bought a package of 2. So I'm going to go get this cleanse. I'm going to actually see, what it does. I typically have been eating a lot healthier lately, but I want to just go ahead and add that in and see, what it does. I grew up on a very healthy kind of mindset as far as with my mom and dad, as far as not taking a lot of medications and different things like that. So I don't want to do anything like that. So just the natural, get my, insides cleaned out a little bit, and I'll let you know how that goes. All right, so we're still on chapter 8. As I can see right now, chapter 8 ended up being a long one. I'm probably going to end up doing about maybe four more videos. But all right, chapter 8. This particular part of the chapter, I start out talking about instant gratification. And what I mean by that is a lot of us are not taking the time. I wrote here, I said, a lot of us are not taking the time to invest in ourselves. We're wanting to try to find a quick fix, whether it be some sort of book or nowadays, some sort of video or podcast, something we can listen to and then immediately jump into it. And I'm going, it doesn't work like that. But I do applaud the people for actually seeking and investing the time in themselves, but understand that investing in yourself is a process. I saw this quote it's a couple of quotes from Jim Rohn, old school motivational speaker, and I believe he is a major mentor of Tony Robbins. He says, work more on your job and your career, you'll make a living. He said, but if you work more on yourself, you'll make a fortune. Just let that sink in a little bit. And how I applied that to my life as far as playing sports and the things that I do now is that when I was a professional baseball player, I worked on my talent. I worked on all the things that would make me a better athlete, stronger, faster. I believe I maxed out my physical gifts. But I didn't work on myself. I didn't work on the mind. I remember the Chicago Cubs organization had a guy by the name of Gary Mack, who was, as I look back now, he was way ahead of his time. He was talking to me about the very things that I'm talking about right now, and that is visualization. This was back in the 80s. He was talking about visualization. See yourself on the mound, in the moment. Throwing that strike, because I was a left-handed pitcher with great velocity and I struggled with control. And I kept thinking it was mechanical, but as I look back on it now, it was mental. I could have fixed myself mentally, which would have corrected the mechanical issues, but I didn't know. I know now, and I could definitely walk a pitcher through that whole mental process. I just didn't understand what was going on. So everything was very inconsistent because I was dealing mostly with my feelings as opposed to really getting into my mind. Because I'm understanding right now, the feelings and the emotions, those are directly related to my body. And I really should have been working more on my mind. Because there were a lot of times when I was trying to perform, because I was very inconsistent. And the philosophy that I have right now is, your philosophy is higher than your feelings. And on a more advanced level, what that means is your mind controls the body. Now, there's there's this play that gets to the point where you do things for so long, your mind and body are working together, but your mind always has the ultimate control, and it can be changed. Your mind can always change up things and help your body, but the body doesn't have that ultimate final say so. But there is some play, which I'm learning a little bit more as we go along. Now, what that reminded me of, or allowed me to create a saying, and it says, talent is a what and it's not a why. Talent, just because you have talent, is not motivation enough. You have to be able to go into yourself and really ask the question, why are you doing what you're doing? And build upon that. And it has to be something so powerful that there's nothing that stops you from getting up and getting along with your day. Whatever that is, it could be a number of things. I don't want to put a bunch of lists of things out there. But when that why and that philosophy is so powerful, that gets you going. That keeps you on track. Now, there's another saying or quote that I came across. It says, we attract and or are attracted to what we are, not what we want. That goes very clearly into the understanding that you cannot just instantly gratify yourself. You have to understand that whatever you have built yourself to be up until this point, you're not going to get anything any better or worse. You're going to get everything in like kind. So if you want something better, for instance, if you want a better person as far as relationships, and I think I mentioned this in another video, is that as a man, if I want that really high level woman, am I the type of man that high level woman would want? I'm only gonna, if I'm a hood rat dude, but I want nice women and all that other stuff like that, well, you know what? You're only gonna attract hood rat women. If you want to attract that type of high level woman, you have to then be that type of person that high level woman attracts. Find out. I mean, it's really simple. It's a mathematical equation. Do your research. Go talk to high level women and say, you know, what's the type of guys that you like? Blah, blah. You'd be amazed that if you just ask that question, like, what type of guys are you looking for? I'm interested in trying to become a better man, better person, but I really want to find out what women are really looking for in that type of man. And they will give you the blueprint. This is this. But you do your research over time and you'll find out, are you that person? You're going to be able to be honest with yourself and go, no, I'm not that dude. But do I want to be that dude? Then there becomes a process that I'll probably talk about later as far as how do you move yourself to becoming that type of person, whether it be that type of pitcher, hitter, football player, speaker, man for woman for man, whatever it is, there is a very scientific, mathematical, step-by-step process that you can actually think your way into being who it is that you want to be. All right. So what I also learned is that as I was moving along and as I understood, I said that we attract and or are attracted to what we are, not what we want. The word that came about is association. So if I'm only attracting who I am, then that means everybody in my association, they're not too far, 1 degree this way or a few degrees this way of who I am. And if I want better for my life, I have to become better, and then my associations are going to become better. You can't, and again, that's very much being afraid of who you are. I mean, who you are right now, and going, man, I gotta be this different person if I want that different life. Absolutely. You can't hang on to those people in the past or those thoughts in the past and then expect yourself to become that type of person and then have the attractions and the jobs and the things that you want. Doesn't work that way. You want different, you got to become different. And you know what's really scary about that whole process is there's going to be some people that fall off. And if you really want to be who you want to be and become and have and do and be, it might require them to fall off. And if they fall off, then what you're hoping is that they go, you know what? he or she inspires me to be better. And if you don't inspire them to be better, then maybe a direct conversation. Hey, look, I'm being better and I would like for you to come along. So I'm challenging you to be better. But I'm also letting you know that if you're not going to become better, deuces. That's just the reality of it. All right. Now, this is a question that I asked my son and daughter. And these are very important questions that you should probably ask people in your surroundings, especially if you see them maybe kind of going astray. Now, I do this as a prerequisite of my son and daughter as they're going to hang out with people. I say, in your group, are you the leader? Okay? And then they give me a question. Yeah, they give me an answer. Yes or no. I said, okay, if you're the leader, are your actions, behaviors leading that group in the right direction? Pretty simple. Then on the flip side, if I say, are you the leader of this group? And they go, no, I'm not the leader. I said, well, whoever that leader is that person worthy of you following them and having other people follow them? And I say, you don't have to answer that question to me. But what I want you to do is make sure that if you're not the leader, you're watching this person. And maybe you might need to help them be a better leader. But the last thing you want to do is follow somebody that you look at and go, that person is not worthy of me following them. And on the flip side, you want to make sure that you're saying, I want to be somebody worthy of following. Okay? I always ask them that question, just making them challenge and just having them. I don't tell them who to be with. I just said, be aware of who you're being around. Because if something goes down, then I could come back and say, well, did you really do your homework? Who that person is? Do you know? Whatever. Just I say, hey, I'm not lording over you. I just want you to be concerned. I want you to be very critical, not judgmental, but just critical and the people that you're around. All right. Now, here's what I want to leave. I want to leave you with. I want to make this one short. Look like we're going to be maybe just under 15 minutes. All right. This is my challenge. Before I get to the challenge, hold on a second. And I made it a point as I asked my son and daughter to understand it is now, then I take that and move that to the next level of say I'm talking to an adult. And I said, the only way that you can really answer that question as far as who's leading or who's not leading, you must know yourself. Okay. And the other thing, as far as I said, when you attract who you are, when we attract and or are attracted to what we are and not what we want, if you know what you want, then that question is very easy to answer, which is what leads me to the last question outside as far as the challenge, is that I want everybody to ask themselves the 3 questions. What do you want? Why do you want it? And can you see that in your imagination? All right. So you have to somewhat know who you are and what you're about to really begin answering that question. And that's why after each video, I want everybody to challenge people to constantly ask themselves that question. Because now we get to the challenge. Ask yourself the 3 questions that I just mentioned before. And then what I want you to do is work on yourself more than your job or your career. So ask yourself the 3 questions. Know what you want, know why you want it, and then picture in your mind every day what that life looks like when you know what you want, you decided why, you know exactly why you want it, and then you have it clear in your imagination. Now, once you do that, then I say, whatever that, if it's your current job, you say, I want a bigger office, I want a better raise within this company, you stay in there, then you make sure that you are working harder on yourself to be a better person, which then I believe flows into the job. Or if you say, you know what, it's in another particular area, great, focus on that. But then focus on how you can be better in that new endeavor that you're taking on. All right. This is Plan Your Greatness. Thank you all for joining. I'm going to say this again. Plan your greatness. Why? Because no one else will. All right. I will see you next time.